Alright folks, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not using my iPod today, I'm using my iPhone. Never taken a video of this before, but I wanted to kind of document how far a guy can get. Now, I'm not a block mason by any means, but it's mid-November, or the first week of November, so the sun is going down. It's only 4:30, quarter to 5. But today, I got up at 6 o'clock and I was out here at 7:30, something like that. Now I got this corner in, got that corner in, got them tied together except for that one block. And I got this wall, and that corner was already in, but I managed to get it joined together with this one. You can see where the mortar's still wet. I don't know how many blocks that is, but for a guy laboring and working by himself in less than 8 hours of daylight, I don't think that's all that bad. So this is that slab that was so rough. Nothing I can do about that. But I don't know. Seemed like it went pretty well. It was 60 degrees out here today, so I was working out here with a t-shirt, and started out with a jacket and a sweatshirt. Then the jacket came off, and then the sweatshirt came off, and finally I was down to my t-shirt out here working, which is pretty good. Tomorrow is going to suck as usual. So I don't know how much more I'm going to get done tomorrow, but I'd like to get all these tied in together so it's 3 high all the way around. So I can put in that big section there that's missing. I got to cut a block and then fix that section there. And then, believe it or not, and I didn't understand this, these end walls, I didn't do any magic math or anything, but believe it or not, it's even blocks all the way across, which is pretty cool, I thought. I don't even have to cut them. I do have to make sure that the mortar joints are tight. They can't be wide. They're supposed to be 3/8, but if you have to tighten them up even from that. But when you do that, man, you can put a block in without cutting it. That's pretty cool. So the 2 end walls, no cuts. Pretty neat. And then these walls here, you're going to have to cut a 3/4 inch piece out of 1 block on each lever. So there's 20 blocks you got to cut. I don't know. Pretty nice. It's beautiful out here. Down here in the Ozarks. You can hear how quiet it is. So, now starting next week is deer season. And every idiot from every city nearby will be out here. Now we own the land past that ridge line there. But opening day out here, it sounds like combat. I'm not kidding you. I don't know how a guy can shoot 7 times at the same deer, but they do. Whatever. So I don't even hunt out here. It's just crazy. I'm afraid to go in the woods during deer season. If I hunt at all, it's with a bow or a pistol or something, and not rifle season. So anyway, it's coming along. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll get this whole thing up to three layers all the way around. And that's what they call the bond beam. I have to put a piece of rebar in here and tie it in all the way around. And you can see my rebar here. Those are actually been drilled and then put in with epoxy. I don't know if you saw the other video where the slab set up so quickly we couldn't get rebar in it. So I had to go rent a drill and drill the holes, and then put epoxy in the holes and then put the rebar in it. But that worked fine. That's great. It's for what it's supposed to do. That'll be just great. So I'll tell you what, folks, if you're thinking about doing this, go for it. So I don't know how much I got in this project so far. I think that floor was $500. $1,700 covered all the materials, all the block and the mortar mix and rebar. And there'll be a bunch of rebar left over because you need it for other stuff anyway. So I don't know. I hate to say it'd be $2,500, but it'd be more than that. But it ain't gonna be a whole lot more than that. So you'd need another $500 worth of concrete to fill these cinder blocks, and I ain't quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. We'll figure something out. I'm either going to make a trough and use the cement truck, or I'm going to rent a small concrete pump and have one person at the pump, one person filling up these blocks, and just vibrate a little bit with a piece of rebar and a hammer, and that will be good enough. So it ain't supporting a 3-story house, it's supporting that stupid shed right there. So it'll be fine. Anyway, this is Ozark Patriot, just kind of documenting this so my wife knows I'm not down here deer hunting or something. That's just probably what I ought to be doing. Anyway, Ozark Patriot, I'm out. Alright folks, today is Sunday, second day of deer season, whatever day that is. Sounds like a war zone out here. I got the starting on the 5th row back there, 4th row up all the way around, so it's coming, 10 rows total, so you can see 6. Tomorrow, 6 up there, get the bond beam in, and maybe I can get the 7th corners up for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Of course, 9th row is bond beam also. So, anyway, I got quite a bit done today. I threw gravel in here in the side, so I have to walk in that clay. That stuff's nasty. The drain tile is going to go on top of that, and then another load of rock on top of it to cover the drain tile. And then there's going to be a ditch dug out here where this arrow is. And it's going to drain out to daylight. You guys can't tell, but there's a big, this is on the side of a hill. Everything in the Ozarks built on a hill. So there's nothing level or straight around here. Anyway, it's coming along pretty good. I'm not as fast as a professional mason, but the walls and stuff are true and square. I started measuring them for size too, because this is getting halfway up and I want to make sure that the finished size is going to be exactly what's required. And believe it or not, although these are, the level shows these being plumb, they're off by 1/4 of an inch. So I had to bring in too big. I had to bring them in 1/4, or like 1/8 of an inch at a time until I got them back to size. So that top row there, that 6th row, is exactly the same size as the base of that shed. So that's what it's going to be. Anyway, I know the wind is driving this thing crazy. I don't know if this will be useful video. Come along. Alright, so Ozark Patriot. I'm out. Alright folks, the wind stopped blowing. The temperature got pretty good, so I wanted to show you guys what I got done today. I don't know how many hours of labor this is going to be. I'd have to sit with a calendar and add this up. It's quite a bit, a lot more than what you might think. What I learned today, you can see I got the 6 rows and the rebar in, that's the bond beam. And I got the corner set, and you can't tell from here, but I had to move those corners slightly because the building is starting to, the basement is starting to get a little out of square. So that's going to be a correction row there. I moved these blocks 1/8 of an inch. I moved the blocks at this end to the left, and I moved the blocks at this end to the right. 1/8 of an inch, and that brought me back closer to being square. The next blocks that go on top there, I'll do another 1/8 of an inch, and that should get me back to being square. So anyway, man, it seems like I made a lot of progress today. I'd have to look at the previous video and see. But moving those blocks inside now is getting to be a real problem, because the backhoe, I can bring them down here to this wall, but then you got to get up on a stand to get them out of the backhoe bucket. So it's a pain in the neck, and it's going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. But that's what life is. Anyway, moving right along. Now today's Monday, I believe. So I have one more day to work. Tuesday I can work all day, and it's supposed to be similar to what it is today, except windy, or windier. And then Wednesday I can work maybe in the morning for a couple hours, then I'm done for the week. So we'll see how far we get. Anyway, this is Ozark Patriot, working my tail off. Later. Alright folks, this is 10:30 in the morning, November 20th. It's Wednesday morning, and I got to be at work tonight, so I got to go. But I met my goal. I got 8 rows all the way around. As you can see, it's raining out here. Couldn't work anyway. Now the boards are on top of there in these blocks just to keep the rain from filling the cinder blocks full of water and then freezing, breaking the bottom ones. That would suck. All right, so inside there, you can see is a floor drain. That floor drain actually comes out underneath here where that water puddle is. So any water, that floor is not level at all. We already covered that, right? So, but anything more than about 1/4 of an inch or so will go through that drain pipe and come out down here. And I just dumped 10 gallons of water through there just to see if it worked, and it did. So I guess I'm at my goal. Next time I come down here, and I don't know when that's going to be because it's supposed to be terrible weather coming in, and the cold front is here right now. It's cold right now. I don't know. It's above freezing, but not much. Little iPod's getting rain on it, but that's how it works. Anyway, pretty cool. Starting to look like a basement. You can see the correction rows there where it's off. There's 2 rows there where it's off. That was to bring that back to square so it would fit underneath the shed. Anyway, this is Ozark Patriot. I made a lot of progress. I guess I'm happy. Met my goals, so I guess that's fine. Anyway, now I got to go back to town and go back to work. I'll be working for the next, I don't know, several days. Anyway, this is Ozark Patriot. I'm out.